Sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass.
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Salmon Oskin, third win of the season! He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today!
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
After a very chaotic All-Star race at the Flemington Speedway, we are back to the points-paying business. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to race number 18 of the 2020 season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series. We are live from the Badlands Racing Facility in the Badlands region of South Dakota for the running of the Cards Against Humanity 300K. Yes, KA is an actual race sponsor in this series, so we're just going to roll with it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trey Wright. And after 17 races and an all-star race, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty section of the season, of the unofficial back half of the season, even though the official back half was after race 15, which I believe that was Ricky. But we are now getting into the dirty stuff here in the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series. You might notice that I'm kind of going off track just a little bit. Lose my brain is going off track. I have just gotten back from summer camp in West Virginia, so if my commentary is off from not doing, being tired and not doing a race in a week and a half, then just bear with me. This should be a simple race, going to be doing 25 laps around the Badlands Racing Facility in South Dakota. And yes, after a very, very extremely chaotic all-star race, trying to find your all-star race winner, there he is, number 62 of Brady Wilmington, a last lap pass over the 76 of Bradley Ream. Granted, the 62 of Wilmington, his first win, his first win of the first installment of the Northlands All-Star Race, after a late addition to the All-Star Race. Actually, back-to-back important wins, back-to-back non-qualifying wins, I should say, for the 62 of Wilmington. Won the Coca-Cola 500 last race before the All-Star Race, and then won the All-Star Race. So kind of a defending winner in both actual race and both points-paying races for Brady Wilmington. So he is going to be definitely one of the cars to beat. And speaking of cars to beat, your points leader, Landon Smith Jr., has the pole in the number 88 for Polar Star Motorsports. And the points are definitely getting spicy. After this race, we'll have 7 races left until we take the top 10 in points, and then 2 wild card drivers for 12 drivers fighting it out for the 2020 championship for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. But after Coca-Cola, as there were no points awarded for the All-Star race, Landon Smith Jr. has a 99-point lead over Eric Monaco. Trying to find Eric Monaco here. Still scrolling back. Once again, there is Eric Monaco in the 36th position. Once again, a very poor qualifying result for that Otter Island Motorsports driver, but he has proven time and time again this season that qualifying does not mean anything, and he can drive from the back to the front. So just have to wait and see what he can do. But Madison Tall, your Boston winner, almost won both Texas World and Coca-Cola. Trying to find her. There she is in the P5 position here at the Badlands. She has climbed her way up into the top 3 in points. And then Benjamin Dover, you see him starting in the 13th position, if I'm not mistaken. He is currently in 4th. And then Brady Wilmington, your All-Star Race winner, rounds out the top 5. Then is Bradley Ream, Tyler Reynolds, Riley Sampson, Zachary Fitzwater, and Trey Smith. As of now, would be in the chase, and then your two trying to think here. Your 2 wild card drivers would be Zachary Davis. No, Ryan Benjamin and Zachary Davis if the chase started today, but it is not. There's still time for a lot of these drivers to get into the chase, I should say. But that is then, and this is now. Going to be doing 25 laps here around the Badlands Racing Facility. Gotta get the cars rolling off here, making sure everybody rolls off successfully. It looks like they are going to be doing 25 laps here at the Badlands. Pit window is roughly 16 laps, so there's going to be a one-stop race. This is an interesting racetrack. It is very dangerous. It is very easy to overshoot the corners. If you overshoot the corners fast enough, well, you're going to be flying off the face of the earth and either going off a cliff or hitting a rock structure, and it is very difficult to repair your car after that. But Tyler Reynolds, your Hillside 2 winner, and Landon Smith Jr., one of the only multi-time winners this season, they are on the front row with Al Agassi, Josh Williamson, and Madison Tall rounding out the top 5. Landon Smith Jr. and Reynolds. We're Green Flag Racing out of the Badlands. Landon Smith Jr. got a great jump over Tyler Reynolds. The outside lane does not work here. We see 4 wide almost. Oh, Reynolds and Williamson, they make contact. Ryan Benjamin there. Is a very windy racetrack here with not good camera files. Now we go through the high turn. If drivers overshoot that turn wide enough, they're going to be falling off the face of the earth. And then no cautions here because this is a road course. Trying to get good camera angles here. We see a couple of guys off course already as Al Agassi has passed Landon Smith Jr. for the lead. Looks like both DeVitos went off course. So tough break for those guys. We'll be reviewing wrecks that took out people afterwards, as we did with Watkins Glen. But Al Agassi trying to get focus on him. Al Agassi leads the first lap here and will get a one bonus point currently. We're leading a lap. Remember, you get a bonus point for every lap you lead, and then on top of that, you get 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Yes, this is a very broken point system, which will be changed after next year. As you see, Brady Wilmington, your all-star winner. You know, almost 4 wide there. Daniel Voiles off track just a little bit. Jonathan Logan trying to make it 4 wide. He does make it 4 wide here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. They're touching Nathan Smith. There goes Voiles. And Voiles, oh, he's going to fly up into the air. And I think he's going to be the first casualty. I don't believe anybody else was involved. So Daniel Voiles will be your Watkins Glen winner. Will be the first one to get knocked out here. Oh, car's almost getting knocked out there as well. Trying to see there, very tight quarters racing. Colton Yo was he's not on it. He has not been on a tear, but he's definitely had a string of good finishes in that one team for Full Frontal Motorsports. Trying to get a good camera angle here. The camera, like I said, camera angles are kind of stupid here, so gonna be changing camera angles about every 3 seconds. But Al Agassi, top 4 cars have kind of pulled away here. Legacy always gonna go wide. So does Landon Smith Jr. Legacy into the dirt. And that's going to allow Landon Smith Jr. and Josh Williamson to take the top 2 positions away. Landon Smith Jr. in a drag race down the front straightaway to the line. I think Williamson just edged out the 88 there. I have to see what timing and scoring says. Yes, Williamson by around 100th of a second. Yeah, 100th of a second will lead the 3rd lap of the race. We got trouble down there. Oh, there goes a couple drivers. I saw Nathan Smith, your Charlotte winner, Carter Joey, they're off in the boonies. And James Edwards, teammates of Brady Davidson. Matt Tuck also involved in something. James Edwards trying to get back on track. Trying to see, oh, there goes Carter Joey. I think he just spun around again. Trey Smith for American Motorsports around. Derek Hamill has some damage on the side of that 91. Trying to see here. Spectator mode is not working out as nicely as I would like, but cars definitely, and there's the cars that were out. James Edwards, I think he hit something, so he's going to be knocked out. So is a 25 of Nathan Smith. I believe Daniel Voiles come off the pit lane. No, I believe he did. Either he did or was knocked out. Now Danny DeVito Jr. on the pit lane with an issue. Trying to see where if Voiles came out or not. Some dirt flying up. That is definitely not uncommon here at the Badlands. But back to the race lead. Josh Williamson is your leader. Voiles did come out, so I believe we might look at his wreck. But 22 of Williamson definitely had a terrible start before the All-Star break. But Williamson now out front with Tyler Reynolds and Al Agassi in a dogfight for third. And then shout out to Dave Benjamin Jr. has been definitely not been terrible on the road course. He was dominating at Watkins Glen before he blew a piston while leading late. Still a heartbreak for that 42 team as he is 3 wide for the second position. Gonna make sure nobody else comes down. Derek Hamill's coming down the pit lane. So is Matt Tuck. So is Carter Joey. I believe those guys are going to be on the pit lane for a while. Ooh, I thought I heard something up in the front. But, did not see anything. See some cars coming off the pit lane. Trey Smith, I think he might be doing the touch and go thing in NR 2003, so that's unfortunate. Or it's come down the pit lane for more repairs. I have no clue. Some more smoke up in here, or dust I should say here. But Josh Williamson continues to lead as they go down the long front straightaway. Trying to focus here. Williamson leads. Dave Benjamin Jr. in second. And shout out to Zachary Fitzwater. Definitely improving his finishes. Of course, he won Texas World to lock himself into the All-Star race. Had a very quiet All-Star race. Probably spun around a couple of times, but of course, that really didn't dampen his finish because, well, there was no damage and no cautions in the All-Star race. But other than that, Fitzy definitely improvement on his season. We have a battle for the lead. Dave Benjamin Jr. to the inside of Josh Williamson on lap 7 of 25. Closing in on halfway in the fuel run. He's going to put Williamson wide, and so is Fitzy. Fitzy to the outside. Transitioning back onto the front straightaway, Dave Benjamin Jr. Fitzy, I don't think he's going to be able to get around him. You're going to look high, sells him a dummy, looks low. Benjamin's going to lead the lap, but Fitzy going to go to the inside, going to slide up just a little bit on Dave Benjamin Jr. And Fitzy is going to try and go to the point, but Benjamin Jr. hanging tough on the outside. If I'm him, I'm just going to let Fitzy go. It is too early to be racing hard like this. Ooh, Fitzy went wide there through the S's. Fitzy is going to retain the lead. Now we got a couple Benjamins. Now we got a car blowing up. That's Dustin Davis, and the 77 has had an engine expire early. Actually, it looks like he has some roof damage, so he could have gone over. Seeing if anybody else is out. Trey Smith, Carter Joey. Oh, I think that's what happened. Keegan Thompson and Daisy Johnson. They probably had to do something to do with the 77. We'll have to review that at the end. But unfortunately, no cautions. So even if the 77 does stall, actually, cars have been spinning out all over the place. So there's no cautions would have definitely been out. Danny DeVito Sr. heading down the pit road. Not a good race for the DeVitos so far. Has not been a good season for the DeVitos so far, I should say. But back to the race lead, Dave Benjamin Jr. and Fitzy have pulled away from the top three. From the rest of this top five. Top five have kind of pulled away a little bit as well. Oh, Dustin Davis, he is still just trying to chug along, going 30 miles an hour in that 77. He is just trying to get to pit lane. I think he might stall out here. A couple of guys going off road, I should say, not off pit lane. We got an absolute hornet's nest in the back here. 3 wide there between Jonathan Logan, Bradley Ream, and now it is Owen Miles in the 40. Trying to see cars, and Dave Benjamin Jr. has passed Fitzy for the lead. It's not an NOFSRL race, so we're just going to miss a pass for the lead. And Dave Benjamin Jr. has passed Zachary Fitzwater for the race lead, but Fitzy, he is driving the heck out of that 9 car. You know, he's an Australian. He loves V8 supercars. They're always doing crazy stuff like going to an off-road, not an off-road racing facility, but kind of a weird racing facility like this, so you know a racetrack like this is right up Fitzy's alley. But so our road course is for the 42 of Benjamin Jr. Fitzy to the inside of the 42. Josh Williamson off of the racetrack just a little bit there. And the 22 keeps composure but loses a position in the process to the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. Polestar Motorsports running second, third, and in the garage as Nathan Smith, the team owner for that team, has unfortunately been caught up in a wreck. But for the lead, Fitzy going to the inside of Dave Benjamin Jr. He's going to have help from his teammate of Landon Smith Jr. A couple of juniors and a senior up in this pack. In this fight for the lead, Fitzy once again wide around the mountain turn. Mountain chicane, I should say. And Fitzy back to the race lead. Dave Benjamin Jr. He might lose second here to the other Polestar Motorsports car left in the race, Landon Smith Jr. It's the junior and junior show with Josh Williamson waiting in the wings for these cars to possibly make contact. He's going to make a 3 wide. Dave Benjamin Jr. going to get shoved off the racetrack. He's going to be right there with his brother Ryan Benjamin. Definitely trying to heat back up in the season as we see Voiles back down the pit lane. Ever since winning the Daytona 500 and subsequently being on a hot streak, Ryan Benjamin definitely has cooled off to the temperature about 0 degrees Kelvin. But right now in the top 5, looking for second position, 3 wide for second. And the preferred line, Williamson, is a transition around the mountain. Fitzy is just leaving these guys in the dust as they continue to race hard. Here's Brady Wilmington up here in the 6th position, if I'm not mistaken. Top 6 cars have pulled away. Yes, top 6 cars. Williamson goes to the inside of Landon Smith Jr. trying to go the inside of Williamson and Benjamin. Williamson off the road again. This time, he's still going to save it. Dustin Davis, a lot of cars. Caleb Rose. Oh my God, this guy cannot catch a break in the 54. And neither can Owen Miles. He's also involved in something. But Caleb Rose has just been the epitome of bad luck in the 54. Once again, he's going to get knocked out in something here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. This season has just been falling apart. And then especially the later races in this season, his heart has just been ripped out, thrown on the floor, and has done a Mexican hat dance on. Just absolutely unfortunate as these guys are lapping Trey Smith on the 38. Yes, he's gone a lap down, but not slowing him down. Dave Benjamin Jr. off the road again. He's going to slide up just a little bit. Making sure these guys get through the final turn all right. Not sure which turn has been the trouble spot. Oh, Tyler Reynolds! He's gone off the road as well. He's got a lot of damage to that 94. And like I said, we'll review all incidents that took drivers out at the end. If we're looking at incidences where cars just got damaged, we would be here all day. But Fitzy has been caught up by the number 15 of Ryan Benjamin. These guys are getting more uniformed. And Trey Smith, I think he just was out of the draft. He's not slowing anyone down. But very unfortunate that Trey Smith got caught up in something. But Fitzy continues to lead. Next car in line to be lapped is the 91 of Derek Hamill. Two cars continue to be on pit road. They're still working on the 8 of DeVito Jr. Caleb Rose, that car is just absolutely toast. Still working on the 40. Still working on Carter Joey. Matt Tuck is back on the racetrack. So is Danny DeVito Sr. So is Daniel Voiles. Tyler Reynolds actually was repaired. Dustin Davis on the pit lane. Meanwhile, we got 4 wide here. This is a recipe for disaster. And now, man, Eric Monaco, he is just barely hanging by a thread to that second place position in points. Oh, this is not going to work. Charlie Davenport nearly getting spun to the back there. Oh man, this and that's just for the mid-pack battle. This is the battle for the lead. Fitzy continues to lead. But I think we're about to have our only set of pit stops here in the Cars Against Humanity 300K, past the halfway point, I should say, in this 25-lap event. I don't believe anybody is going to go on the pit lane this time by. Jonathan Logan might involuntarily go on the pit lane this time by. Almost got spun by Nathan Buchanan in the 12. To Madison Tall, third in points, losing positions on the outside lane. I don't believe anyone that is not been involved in an incident has gone down the pit lane, but we're within the window. And speaking of the window, Dave Benjamin Jr. saw an opening, and he is taking it over Zachary Fitzwater. He's going to have the preferred line on the inside. Fitzy is going to try and hold on, gets his right tires into the dirt just a little bit, and Fitzy's going to fall back to second. Oh, he's going to dive down to the inside, crossover of Dave Benjamin Jr. Now see if anyone comes down the pit lane. These top cars are not going to. Nobody's going to come down the pit lane, so I definitely expect in the next 3 laps or so drivers to come down. But now for the lead, Ryan Benjamin, the other Benjamin in the field, has been fighting for the race lead. He wants to lead over Fitzy. Fitzy on the outside, but is going to have the advantage of transitioning back to the inside as I go around the mountain turn. Ooh, Benjamin goes wide. Fitzy's going to have the advantage as they transition back. Ryan Benjamin going to have the run on the inside. Fitzy's going to fall all the way back. Ryan Benjamin. Benjamin's running 1-2 as Landsman Jr. goes off the road just a little bit. That's not a good camera angle there. And now Dave Benjamin Jr., Ryan Benjamin. Here comes Brady Wilmington on the inside. Ooh, Ryan Benjamin, that got tight there. Still nobody coming down the pit lane. Oh, that's not good. Somebody, there's Riley Sampson, Eric Monaco, Nathan Stapleton, and Caleb Campbell. Those cars went off the road, and that is not what Eric Monaco fans wanted to see. Eric Monaco, heavy damage to that 75 coming off of the second to final turn. One of the most treacherous turns on this racing surface. We saw Riley Sampson kind of barrel rolling that, but he's got back and going. I think that wreck is going to knock out those guys, but that is going to shake the points up a lot. And speaking of shaking up the points, Dave Benjamin Jr. has gone to the race lead along with Grady Wilmington, Landon Smith Jr. Now, if Landon Smith Jr. wrecks, Eric Monaco has also got some damage, as we see Brady Wilmington run off the road there on the final exit of the second to final turn. Now, if Landon Smith Jr. wrecks, you see Benjamin Dover, he's also on the pit lane. Every time I'm trying to put the scenario of not Dave Benjamin Jr., Landon Smith Jr. wrecks, then I see something that has to do with the points, but I don't believe anything like that is going to happen here, knock on wood. So, as I was saying, if Landon Smith Jr. wrecks, that could open the door for Madison Tall to possibly take the points lead. But I think in such a small pack like this, it's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely that Landon Smith Jr. wrecks. I think he's going to get yet another good finish in this race. Are still not coming down the pit lane. Riley Sampson with a lot of damage in the 24. Dave Benjamin Jr. coming off. I don't see any damage on the 56, so maybe that was strategy play. Madison Tall, she's currently in the 17th position. Not a bad run for the 99. She's ahead of the 75 at least. I believe Monaco. There's Landon's Logan Williams, I should say. I think Monaco is pulled in behind the wall. But battle for the lead. Ryan Benjamin going underneath his brother of Dave Benjamin Jr. I think Ryan Benjamin going to have the advantage as they come through the mountain turn. But Fitzy, ooh, that got close right there. It's the Benjamin and Benjamin show with the Aussie right behind them. Josh Williamson also wants to poke his nose into this battle. Oh, almost 4 wide there. That did get 4 wide there for a second. Oh, this is very close right here. You can just about put a blanket through this, guys! And there they go! Both Benjamins and Fitzy get knocked out! Oh, Fitzy upside down! So are both of the Benjamins! Al Agassi is going to come down pit lane. Actually, we have a lot of cars coming down pit lane. Oh my goodness. Fitzy trying to regain anything he's got. Oh man. If that's not a game changer, then I don't know what is. Trying to get to these guys on the pit lane. Yadell on the pit road. Trying to get through these guys. Bradley Ream. There they go, Josh Williams and Al Agassi coming out. So is not James Edwards. What's his name? Brady Wilmington. Logan Williams led a lap there, but Ryan Benjamin, I think they were slowing down to come to the pit lane, and then just it got way too crowded coming off the second to final turn. And then you saw the end result right there, ladies and gentlemen. Colton Yo going off-road there just for a little bit. You see Jonathan Logan. Oh, Colton Yo! Way too hot. He's going to fall off the face of the earth right there. And that's what happens. Colton Yo, a lot of cars falling off the face of the earth. Oh my goodness, this has just been absolutely terrible. It says Jonathan Logan is in the lead right now. I think after this, everything cycles out. You see Charlie Davenport coming out. A lot of guys on the pit lane. Dave Benjamin Jr. coming back down the pit lane. Trying to find where Jonathan Logan is. I don't see him. Oh, there he is. And he's vibrating on the pit lane, so he might have something internal. Somebody just fell out of the race. Actually, we've got 3 laps to go, I should say. So, yeah. Oh, and there's Ryan Benjamin. Oh my goodness, this race has just been absolutely terrible, and with terrible commentary. Well, I was hoping that this race wouldn't be an absolute poop fest, but it appears that it is. Trying to find out who the leader is right now. Ryan Benjamin. He's unfortunately out. Says Jonathan Logan is still the leader. Madison Tall finally coming out of the pit lane. Landon Smith Jr. with an issue. These cars tend to get stuck on the pit lane, unfortunately. It says Logan Williams is now the leader. Trying to locate where Williams is. That him right there. Yes, it is Logan Williams in the 79 with 2 laps to go in the race already. He's got Wilmington behind him with Al Lagasse. I believe Madison Tall might be in 4th, so this is going to be huge. We saw Landon Smith Jr. stuck on the pit lane with an issue. But Logan Williams trying to get his first win of the season. Coming to, actually no, it's 3 laps to go. Coming to 2 laps to go this time by. He's going to have to hold off the 62 of Wilmington. Well, I didn't even count the 79 of Logan Williams at all. He ran well at Papyrus as we got 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. He was so close to winning at Papyrus, but hit the wall on the treacherous right-hander on the final lap. So I'm hoping he doesn't choke this one away. But he hasn't been that good in points, so I'm not sure if this would help at all. But Brady Wilmington is there. I know Benny Watson, owner of that 79 for Otter Island Motorsports, he wants to see him in victory lane. He's already seen Eric Monaco in victory lane. Monaco's actually P9 right now, so that's not going to help Madison Tall. Madison Tall's actually lapped down, but they're going to catch up to that 88 regardless. Wilmington off the road. That could be his race now. It goes to Al Lagasse. Can he possibly get around the 79? As they come onto the front straightaway. Down the dip in the front straightaway. Landon Smith Jr. still on the pit lane. White flag in the air one more time around for the 79 of Logan Williams. And Lagasse is there. Oh, he's going to get to the inside of Logan Williams. They're going to drag race down here. About to pass the mountain. About to go around the mountain for the final time. Lagasse cannot quite get there. Madison Tall is a lap down. She does not count in this battle. This is between Lagasse and Williams. They get around the mountain pass cleanly. Now, around the final couple of turns, Logan Williams, he just has to hold off Lagasse for the last few turns. This is going to get close here. Through the final kink, Lagasse, does he cut low? Oh, not going to quite get there. Goes high, not going to get there in time. As they come onto the front straightaway, Logan Williams for Iron Motorsports, he wins at the Badlands. And Al Lagasse, so close in the 34. Looks like we're only going to have 9 cars on the lead lap. This race was absolutely stupid. This might have been stupider than the All-Star race, but Logan Williams, first win of the season. for the Otter Island Motorsports driver. Al Legacy just coming up so close. Madison Tull did get a top 10. She was a lap down, but she should not be mad. She did get a top 10. She did not close in on second over, what's his name, Eric Monaco. Eric Monaco finished one position ahead of her. But Brady Wilmington, probably the biggest winner of them all. P3 for the driver of the number 62. Then Josh Williamson back there in fourth. Derek Hamill was a lap down. Shout out Mitchell Collins in the 50. First time we're mentioning his name all day. He rounds out your top 5. Dane Benjamin Jr. after getting wrecked there in the 42. He finishes 6th. Charlie Davenport trying to find him on the racetrack. That's not Charlie Davenport. Trying to find where Davenport is. Whatever, he finished 7th. Danny DeVito Sr. finishes 8th. Eric Monaco finishes 9th. And then Madison Tull finishes 10th. There are your official standings. And Logan Williams retired. He's like, screw this, I'm out. That's beautiful right there. And just, oh my goodness, absolute pandemonium. I don't know why Colton Yeo got disqualified. Probably because he just beamed it right under the, yeah, he just absolutely beamed it through the pit lane. And then, oh my goodness, Danny DeVito Jr. was 19 laps down. Carter Joey, James Edwards, Nathan Smith. We're going to have a lot of incidents to look out for. But just absolutely insane race here. And this is going to shake up the points. Landon Smith Jr., 24th, 5 laps down. That's going to hurt him. So let's quickly review what happened to all the accidents that knocked people out of the race, unfortunately. And then we'll get you to your closing and then to your points here after race number 18 of the 2020 season of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Let's see what happened initially to Carter Joey, James Edwards, and Nathan Smith, and we'll get you to the rest of your incidences. So this is the first incident on lap 3, if I'm not mistaken. You see they're 4 wide coming into turn 1, if I'm not mistaken. See James Edwards, Nathan Smith, and Carter Joey. Fitzy, who I believe he was knocked out, finished outside the top 10. Very angry finish for the 9 team. But Fitzy, they're 4 wide coming off of turn 2, and they are going to fly off the racetrack. Nathan Smith, the first one to go around, and they fly off into the boonies. And then we're going to fast forward this, because this actually does get a little bit crazy. This isn't the first time that James Edwards has been involved in a crazy incident. See, he's just going to lock it down, spin it out, and then we're going to focus on with Nathan Smith, because it looks like he should be fine at this, try and drive back on the racetrack, but you see why he gets knocked out. Nathan Smith, there's an invisible wall right there, and you're going to see James Edwards hit it as well. They're all going to get knocked out, and I think Carter Joey is going to hit a similar wall as well here, so let's quickly fast forward. That'll be skipped in time, but we'll quickly fast forward and see what happened to Carter Joey that knocked him out. So Carter Joey just retired from that incident. He had an internal issue. This is the second incident. This is the first set of cars flipping over. You see Dustin Davis. This is not a good camera angle, so we're just going to rewind it just a little bit here. I believe this should be a good camera angle. You see Daisy Johnson cut in front of Dustin Davis right into Keegan Thompson. And these guys launching into the mountainside. Look at that hit. 2 of those guys going upside down. Keegan Thompson, we got to get taken on board with one of these guys. Or someone that was behind those guys in the just witnessing that. But my goodness, a huge hit for all 3 of those guys. Daisy Johnson, Keegan Thompson getting the worst of it. And then, unfortunately, the 77, Dustin Davis, an innocent bystander in the 77. Let's take another look at that from hopefully someone else was there to witness that from a third-person point of view. So this is from Danny DeVito Sr.'s car. You see Daisy Johnson go there. Actually, we completely missed it. So, gonna rewind there. Look at that shot. Now, if that's not a Kodak moment, I don't know what is. Let's just play it in real time from this angle. On the left side of the 48. Look at that. That's the exact impact for the 53 and the 7 into the mountainside wall. So that is what knocked out Keegan Thompson, Dustin Davis, and Daisy Johnson. Actually, James Edwards. Actually, we know what happened to James Edwards and those guys. Danny DeVito Jr., I think he just had an internal issue. They were trying to fix the whole race, but then the race ended, so they just finished a couple of laps down. So, yeah, that's what happened to those guys. Looking through the list of cars that are out, unfortunately, here. Give me one moment. So what happened with those guys? Zachary Fitzwater. Let's see what happened to those guys. We have 2 more instances to review, in fact. Let's see what happened to those guys to not bring out the caution, but we all know what happened to Zachary Fitzwater and those company as they're trying to come down the pit lane. There's Dustin Davis just failing on the pit lane, unfortunately. Let's rewind to see what happened to Fitzy to kind of kind of turn the tide in this race, unfortunately. So this is definitely the most game-changing moment in the race as they're coming through turn 6, I believe this is. See there, 3 wide. Trying to get a better camera out. Let's go helicopter angle right here. Looks like Josh Williamson just goes he just overdrives the final turn right into Fitzy, and then Dave Benjamin Jr. And they all take each other out. Dave Benjamin Jr. doesn't just take out Fitzy, but his own brother as well. And then right into the invisible wall. There's where Ryan Benjamin, hard hit for all 3 of those guys. Fitzy and Ryan Benjamin, that's where they get their damage. And then Dave Benjamin Jr. was the only car of those guys to finish the race. And then you see the cars coming down the pit lane. Actually, I want to fast forward it. Let's see. I'm not sure if it was this lap or not that Colton Yo just flew into the pit lane. I believe it was the next lap. So let's fast forward here, because this was quite intriguing for the 1 car. So yeah, right here you're gonna, I believe it is right here, he's trying to get onto the pit lane, but I think he's just gonna cook it way too much. Yeah, you see him flying off the road there, and then he's just gonna fly in there right into that car. Oh, well, that's what happened to Nathan Buchanan. Nathan Buchanan also flying there, and then you see Colton Yo, goodbye, right into the mountains, just completely destroys his car, and then he's just gonna go into the pit lane, and that's all the cars that were knocked out of incidences. See Colton Yo and Nathan Buchanan in the pit lane. That is actually a very awesome shot right there. So awesome camera angle, I should say, of the front straightaway, but nonetheless trying to find him here. As we see, there's Ryan Benjamin. He was knocked out. Actually, let's see let's rewind, in fact, to see what happened to Eric Monaco. Even though he wasn't knocked out, this is definitely change in the points. So let's see what happened to Eric Monaco that gave him his large damage. So this was a very intriguing incident because it was a very violent incident. Nobody got hit. They're 4 wide. Riley Sampson, Eric Monaco, Nathan Stapleton, and Caleb Campbell. They all spin around right there. You're going to see Riley Sampson going to flip over here. But, oh, Nathan Stapleton, I do not know how he did not get knocked out. That was a direct shot to the front of that 98. Riley Sampson going to fly down the low banking. And then Caleb Campbell right there. And Eric Monaco, he is going to, I think, actually, with whatever his name is, Landon Smith Jr., that's who drives the 88. He's with his 24th place finish. I think Eric Monaco, he finished 9th, in fact, so that's not going to hurt him in points. That's actually going to help him in points, okay, because he finished in the top 10. But a very intriguing incident nonetheless. See cars rocking back and forth on the pit lane, but nonetheless, there is the man of the hour. Played the pit strategy perfectly. Logan Williams in the 79 is your winner here in the Cards Against Humanity 300K at the Badlands Racing Facility. And just a few moments, your points will show on your screen after 18 of 35 races. We're getting into the nitty-gritty points-wise, ladies and gentlemen. But on behalf of nobody in the booth with me here, I have been Trey Wright. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, from the Badlands Racing Facility in the Badlands, South Dakota. This has been the Cards Against Humanity 300K. This has been NASCAR Nerd 34, signing off.